Hello, good day and welcome to my channel. The question here says if x is equal to the matrix 2, 1, minus 3 and 0 and I is a 2 by 2 unit matrix, evaluate x squared minus 2x plus 4i. So the first thing we are going to do is to evaluate each of these terms one after the other before we subtract and add them. So let's start with x squared. So x square will be equal to the matrix that we have here, which is 2, 1, and then negative 3 and 0, multiply by itself. That is multiply by 2, 1, minus 3 and 0. So for us to multiply this, we all know that the usual style is to bring it, this one here, this 2 and 1, we're going to bring it down this line. So 1 will come down here and multiply negative 3, and 2 will be up here to multiply 2. So that will give us the answer that we'll get for the first part of the matrix. So as I said before, okay, let me open the large matrix. Let me open the large matrix so that we see what is happening there. So 2 is coming here and this 1 is coming here. It's like carrying this number down this. So this is the column and this is the row. So this row here will come down to this column, and then 1 is coming down here to multiply negative 3, and then 2 will multiply the 2 here. So we're going to add them. So we are going to say 2 multiplied by 2. That is this 2 multiplied by the 2. Then the 1 is coming down here. Then we'll add it to the 1 multiplying negative 3. So this 1 is coming down to multiply negative 3, which is what I've written. And then the 2 multiply 2 up there. And then to get the second value here, we are still going to carry this 2 and 1 and bring it down this column. So this 2 and 1 will bring it down this column, so that the 1 will come down here and multiply 0, and the 2 will multiply 1 up there. So that will give me the 2 multiplied by 1 added to the 1 multiplied by 0. So like I said, this 2 is coming down like this. So the 2 will remain up to multiply 1, and this 1 will come down to multiply 0. And that is what I've done here. 2 multiply 1 and the 1 multiply 0. And then we have to add them up. Now coming down to the values down here, let me cover the matrix like this. Coming down to the values that will be down here is going to give me this negative 3 and 0, which is the row that we have here, will also come down this column. So this negative 3 will multiply 2, and this 0 will come down here to multiply negative 3. So I have the negative 3 multiplying 2, and then this 0 multiplying negative 3 here. So 0 multiplied by negative 3. So don't forget to add them up. So this row here is coming down to this column, which is what I've expressed here. And then to get the last part of the matrix here, is going to be this same row, negative 3 and 0, coming down to this column here. So this negative 3 will multiply the 1 up there, and the 0 will multiply 0 down here. So I have negative 3 multiplying 1, then added to 0 multiplied by 0. So now we are going to simplify to obtain the matrix that it will give us. So it will be equal to, here, negative 2, 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. So I'm going to write it 4. Then plus 1 multiplied by negative 3 will give me negative 3. That is what I have there. And then the next one is going to be 2 multiplied by 1, and that will give me 2. Then plus 1 multiplied by 0 is 0. And then coming down here, I have negative 3 multiplied by 2 to give me negative 6. And then plus 0 multiplied by negative 3 to give me 0. And then finally here, negative 3 multiplied by 1 will give me negative 3. And then 0 multiplied by 0 to give me 0. So now I have my matrix there. So that will be 4 plus negative 3, that is 4 minus 3 will give me 1. Then 2 plus 0 will give me 2. Then negative 6 plus 0 will give me negative 6. And then negative 3 plus 0 will give me negative 3. So when x is square, I have this matrix, the square of x. Now let me move to the second part of that evaluation. After x squared, we can see it here. After x squared, the second part is 2x. 2x is the second part of the matrix. So I'll go and multiply 2 by x now. So 2x will be equal to, don't forget, let me bring x here again. Don't forget that x is equal to the matrix 2, 2 and 1, and then negative 3 and 0. So this is x now. So 2x will be 2 multiply each of the term in the matrix. So 2 multiplied by 2 will give me 4. 2 multiplied by 1 will give me 2. 2 multiplied by negative 3 will give me negative 6. And then 2 multiplied by 0 will give me 0. So that is the matrix 2x. And then finally, we are asked to evaluate 4i. That is the last term to evaluate there. You can see it here, 4i. And I is a unit, is a 2 by 2 unit matrix. 2 by 2 unit matrix. So I'm going to write I here for us to see. A unit matrix is a matrix that the diagonal in this right hand side, diagonal from the left to the right here is 1 throughout, and every other member of the matrix is 0. So a 2 by 2 will be 1 0 and then 0 1. So this is a 2 by 2 unit matrix. You can see the diagonal moving from left side to the bottom right. You can see it, that is 1, and every other member of the matrix is 0. So that is a 2 by 2 unit matrix. So we're going to evaluate 4 multiplied by the I. So it's going to be 4 multiplying each term in this matrix. So 4 multiplied by 1 will give me 4. 4 multiplied by 0 is 0. 4 multiplied by 0 is 0. And then 4 multiplied by 1 is 4. So I now have 4i. So don't forget, the question is asking us to evaluate x squared, and then minus 2x plus 4i. This is what the question is asking us to evaluate. So let me bring back my x squared. So this is the value for x squared. I'm going to write it now. So I say is equal to the value for x squared is 1, 2, and then negative 6 and negative 3. This is the value for x squared, and then minus the value for 2x. This is the value for 2x here. See it here. This is 2x, which is 4, 2 minus 6 and 0. So I'm going to write it down there. So 4, 2 minus 6 and 0. So this is the value of 2x. And then finally plus 4i. We already have our 4i here, and that is 4 0 and then 0 4. So that is it. That is the evaluation that we have to do here. Now, for us to do that, I'll continue by simply saying that using these operations that we have here, we are going to add and subtract the corresponding term. So this minus this plus this means we take the first term here minus the first term here plus the first term here. So the corresponding element will be added or subtracted according to the operation that we are carrying out. So this with this negative sign, so this 1 minus 4 plus 4, I'm going to write it as the first member of the set. 1 minus 4 plus 4. That will give me the first value. And then the second value to obtain there will be 2 minus 2 plus 0. Taking this element now, 2 minus the corresponding value here, 2, and then plus 0. So that will be written as 2 minus 2 plus 0. And then coming down here, I also take the corresponding terms here. So I have negative 6, then minus, you can see it here, then minus the negative 6 here too, negative 6, and then plus 0. So don't forget, negative 6 minus negative 6, which is what I've written here, then plus the 0. And then the last one here is negative 3, negative 3 minus 0, that is minus 0, and then plus 4, plus 4. So this is the matrix, and then finally we can arrive at the answer now, and that will be equal to 1 minus 4 is negative 3, and then negative 3 plus 4 will give me 1, and then 2 minus 2 is 0 plus 0, and that will give me 0. And then negative 6 minus minus, this negative negative becomes plus. So negative 6 plus 6 will give me 0. Then 0 plus 0, I have 0 there. So 0 plus 0 will give me 0. And then finally, negative 3 minus 0 is negative 3 plus 4. That will give me 1. So my final answer is this, which is also a 2 by 2 unit matrix. That's the final answer. So please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that I can get more interesting and detailed explanatory videos like this. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.